G'day and welcome to Aussievision. I'm Dale and I'm joined by the amazing Liv for a very exciting day. Liv, we've got the Australian entry for 2025.
Woohoo! I'm so excited.
Exactly. We're both going to Basel, so this is very important to us to spend all that money and 24 hours on a plane. We want the Australian entry to be good. Now, before we start talking about it, Liv, let's just have a little bit of a snippet of the song first.
They know my name all across the land. I can tell you want a taste of the Milkshake Man. I can tell you want a taste of the Milkshake Man. I can tell you want a taste of the Milkshake Man.
All right, well, it's Gojo with Milkshake Man. A lot of people were talking about that, and it was the case. Now, Liv, what were your initial impressions when you heard, we got to hear the audio a little bit before the video? Like, it's been an interesting day to kind of go through that whole process.
Yeah, it's an interesting one for me. Gojo's been on my radar for a really long time because I'm a chronically online person who spends many hours of my day on TikTok, right? So this is someone I was familiar with and their music. And I think I was expecting perhaps something a bit more like Mrs. Hollywood, their biggest hits. So the fact that this was such a different song, I was like, whoa. I wasn't mentally prepared for this. And I think it was just that first 30 seconds of just being like, wait a minute, wait. This is a banger. This is great. It was just so different that it took a moment. I was a bit like caught off guard.
Yeah, I kind of was the same. I won't lie, because we're very used to, as being Eurofans in Australia, we get our points from this very serious quality kind of songs, even if Voyager, for example, the song was still the song and they were the personality kind of thing. And so I was at first quite concerned. I'm like, oh my God, are we going fun/novelty? This is not what Australia does. And once I got past that first initial kind of shock that was the direction, even though I thought maybe with him it could go in that way, this has been in my head all day. It's got stickability, right? It's fun and it's catchy.
Oh, it's absolutely incredible. And as soon as you actually get the visual as well, that made such a huge difference to really connecting with the song. And it's like, okay, it's not just well produced. It's not just got a great beat and his voice isn't super catchy. It's like you put the whole package together and it's like, this is an experience. Like, and this guy, he can perform. Like, I am so excited to see what this is going to be like on stage.
Yeah, a lot of the video was very much around him. Like, we weren't talking super budget here. We don't need it. We just need it to be focused on him. It's a nice, good video. It works well. Because if we're going to go down the route of a fun song, it's risky for a country like us. People expecting we're taking it seriously and sending this kind of mainstream pop. So if we're going to do it, we need the right vehicle, the right person. And he's it. He's very Australian, if you ask. Like, he's just kind of got that Aussie kind of modern day kind of look of these guys. And I think he can just perform, and he's got charisma. I think he'll win over a lot of the mums and grandmas of and some others of Europe.
Yeah, we need the right milkshake van to get to Basel. But I totally agree that he's just got that Aussie look. I don't know how to describe it, but once again, I'm chronically online. So there's like this international vibe at the moment where everyone's trying to honestly imitate Aussies when it comes to like styling hair, fashion. He's like the blueprint of that. So like, he's cool, he's in vogue. And it's so great hearing an Aussie accent in pop music. Like, I love that so much.
And so, like, what do you think about, like, we've talked about the song being catchy. There are people who are going to call this a novelty song. I think it's too slick and well produced and put together, I think, to go into that camp. What's your take on it?
Yeah, I guess like once you kind of listen to the lyrics and you watch it with the music video, I think it rides the line just right. You know, it doesn't go too far in one direction where it's a bit silly and then one where it's a bit too innuendo. It's honestly just in that nice little sweet spot where it can be as airy and fluffy and nothing as you want, and you can perhaps take it a little bit more seriously if you wanted to.
And talking about the innuendo, I mean, it's there, right? Like, do you want to taste his milkshake? And a lot of other words are within there. I don't know what it is about this contest this year with Erica Vickman and Kant and this, like, what's happening? But I quite like this because I don't think it's so in your face. It's a little bit more wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yes, I feel like this is the type of lyricism that can very easily be shown to any generation, and people will take out of it what they want, which works just great for Eurovision in particular.
And look, I think from people hearing the kind of audio and stuff, I feel like the kind of feeling has been a bit mixed. I think the people who are really loving it are really loving it. The ones who are a bit like, oh, I didn't expect this from Australia. Like, what have you thought about the fan reaction so far? It's pretty early though.
This is the story of our lives, Dale. Every single time. I say this every year we have this video. And when we get up into this, it's always very mixed. And then, you know, bam, everyone gets it once it gets to Eurovision. This happens to us every year. So not really surprised. I don't think there's many male entries like this in the contest this year. You know, there's a lot of female entries perhaps doing big and brash things, except perhaps one chap from Estonia, but maybe we can talk about him in a minute. But yeah, I think this is quite unique, and I'm not surprised it's polarizing, but that's right on brand for us, Australia.
Well, that's true. You are 100% right there. And look, Tommy Cash, Estonia, like he has another milk-based drink song.
But like, did he have lactose-free milk though, Dale? We have that.
That's very true. That's
We're
very true.
inclusive.
So it does feel like I mean, other than Tommy, and I do think this is different than Tommy, Tommy's leaning hard into novelty, like full blown. Well, I feel like this does have a pop sensibility about the whole thing. So I thought, yeah, maybe there'll be a competition with each other, but I think they're very different, even though, again, they're milk kind of fun songs. Like, do you think he's going to be much of a competition?
I think it will just come down to the visual, really. I think if we can tell a different story here, the sound itself is completely unique and different. Yeah. And this is something that will actually have juries excited, whereas Tommy's will have them repulsed, unfortunately. So we have something there that he doesn't.
Yeah, look, I think my question was about the juries. That's interesting that you say. I mean, I'm a little bit jury's out on the juries. It'll be about execution. Like, I think if they can do this really slickly and do it really well, then there could be something there. But it does feel like SBS and everyone involved is like, we are so hurt from the public vote every year. This feels like a really kind of bit of a big swing at the public vote. I think it's very public vote in mind in that. Like, do you think that's the right call? Do you think it's about like just trying to get through the semi-final and whatever happens in the final?
I think it would be devastating for us to be not in the final 2 years in a row. You know, we've never had that happen to us, and we hope it never does. So I think considering, you know, we just missed out by a whisker last year, we do have to take a big swing at the televote, and this is in the right direction of that, and I think is a really good attempt. And yeah, it will ride or die on that staging for sure. But good news is Gojo is a performer. Like, this guy, he's got that razzle dazzle, that it factor. Like, I'm very excited to see what he's going to put together.
Yeah, and he gets like that, like, you know, gone are the days where back in the day with Dami Im and even Kate Miller-Heidke, where you can just sit there and rock up and go, wow, look at my staging show. I mean, maybe if you're as good as Zero Gravity, you can kind of do that. But you can't do that anymore. It is a full-blown political and marketing campaign from today. And I feel like he's the right person to do that. Like Voyager were, getting out there, promo, PR. He knows, like, he's got a great social media presence. Like, I'm not a TikTok guy. You're across TikTok and stuff. But, like, he's big on there. Like, I feel he can, like, really keep that momentum, keep that campaign and get a lot of love, especially when you got these things like the call and response in the song. We need that crowd to be shouting it back, and it's going to be relying on that campaign.
Yeah, well, don't worry, I'll be absolutely screaming at the top of my lungs. But I will say, I do hope they get him to a pre-party or two, because going back to people being lukewarm on Australia, once Voyager got to a pre-party or two and kind of showed everyone what they were made of and that they're great blokes and chick and all that stuff, etc., all of a sudden, boom, up goes the odds and, oh, we love Voyager, blah, 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 whatever. So I do hope he gets to a pre-party or two in Europe just to start that momentum a little early, get the fans on side, get some momentum, all that kind of thing. But not too many pre-parties that the voice gets a little bit sore, which can also happen.
Yeah, it's a fine line, is it? But I definitely want him over in Europe trying to do promotion. Now, actually, that's really interesting because, as we got the details of the song and through the release, that the crew from Shepherd are involved in the writing credits of this. Now, Shepherd are doing a European tour in the lead up to it. I wonder if there'll be a little bit of piggybacking or comboing up around there, maybe traveling with even to kind of go along with them. But I wouldn't be surprised because it's interesting to see Shepherd involved. They've been hanging around the Eurovision sphere for the last few years, so good to see them as songwriters.
Yes, because I know that they had a big shot last year at trying to get to Eurovision and had a song for that. And, obviously they competed at Australia's sides back in the day. So they're super keen and just great Aussie artists that have been around for a really long time. So it's good to see them involved with an actual Eurovision entry. Their names are on the credits there. So they are now intertwined with Eurovision history.
Yes, it is a song contest after all, but we know it's a lot more than that these days. And look, I'm definitely excited. I won't lie, I was a little kind of thrown at the start, but then as the day, and by the second, third listen, I'm just like, wow, I love it. And then just seeing the video, it pulled it all together. So I'm feeling pretty happy. I think when we go to Basel, this is going to be a good experience.
And Jude, you and me are going to go crazy at Euroclub for this. We're going to be doing backflips. I'm so stoked. I'm so excited. You have no idea.
You might be doing that, Liv, and you might be the one out late. I'll probably be in bed by 11, 12 at my age now. Oh, right. I was going to say, any final thoughts on the song, Liv, or what you're probably hoping from this overall? Are you hoping for a good result for Australia with this?
I'm feeling a little bit better about the whole semi-final questions. So that's always a really good thing to come out of a song listen. And I'm just really impressed that he's doing something so daring because, I've been listening to his music for a while now since he's been on my radar from TikTok. And this is just something really different compared to his back catalogue. So either way, this is an artist spreading his wings in the music industry, and that's really exciting for him.
Yeah, and I think it's good to see Australia take a kind of risk, even though I kind of feel they're just get us out of that semi-final. We need to be there on Saturday night. And also, when we've seen that really interesting discourse around Måns in Sweden, and that kind of Sweden being stuck in their manufactured approach, where you can see that we've completely sort of jumped out of that, is refreshing. Regardless kind of what happens, I think we're very open to try new things at Eurovision, which you always have to evolve. And I feel like Australia's evolving, and I'm coming along for the ride.
That's a really fabulous point. There is absolutely nothing generic about this. This has his authenticity stamped all over it. And yeah, I'm just really proud of us. It's got it stuck in my head. I'm really happy.
Perfect. Well, we'll see how the day unfolds and how the Eurovision fans react and where it ranks and everything. But as you said, it doesn't matter until we get to May anyway. So, no, it's all good. Well, look, Liv, thank you for going through the song. I'm sure we're going to be talking about this a lot for the next few months. So these are our initial thoughts, and we'll come back to it in due course. But thanks again for talking all things Milkshake.
Milkshake away.